Rock your radio dial on AM 1300 KGLO.
7:32 here at your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, and streaming live online at KGLOAM.com. Pete Hjelmstad with the Iowa Department of Transportation joins us to get us up to date on projects not only around the Mason City area, but maybe even a little bit beyond. Pete, good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
Let's see. I need to put you in program. Try that again. Pete, good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
They heard you on the computer feed. They didn't hear you on the actual radio. That's why.
Now we get everybody involved.
Yeah, right, exactly. Might as well get everybody involved. Hopefully you don't have anybody walking past you today like you did last week.
No, so far it looks pretty quiet out there. So we'll keep our fingers crossed so we don't have any more distractions.
We'll definitely see their shadow in the background.
Exactly.
You must have an office that shines a lot of sunlight into your office.
Actually, this is a conference room. I go in here for these interviews. Otherwise, it's a perfect morning view with the sun coming up, and get to see Highway 65 traffic in the background. So things are looking good out there, and the sun's coming out from behind the clouds. So hopefully it won't blind me as we start talking here.
Well, you mentioned Highway 65. Get us up to date on that project on the south end of Mason City.
Yeah, things are going well. As far as traffic involvement, the detour is still in place and will remain in place until probably into mid to late November. So as far as traffic, that's really about the big changes you're going to see. 23rd Street coming from the west is now closed off, also at 65. And we do have the detour in place, and I know I've mentioned this before. People will take their own routes. They'll, find their own routes, which is fine. We cannot control where people drive. We will put up the detour that we feel is the best, but we know that people will take different routes. But we do want to ask people that if you're driving through some of these neighborhoods that aren't used to this kind of traffic, that have families, that have kids, please be careful. Please slow down and just pay attention, because those neighborhoods are seeing more traffic than they usually do. So that's a big thing that we definitely want to stress to people if you're trailblazing your own detour.
Well, let's get up to date on 122 there by the hospital.
Yeah, that one, we're still working on the Monroe intersection. Actually, things are going really well there. We are ready to move to the next phase in that part of the construction project. Currently, traffic is in the outside lanes. We have done the paving on the inside lanes. So on Monday, we will be moving traffic to the inside lanes so we can work on the outside lanes. Now, what that also means is currently at that intersection, you can make right turns. That will no longer be the case starting Monday. The only traffic that can go through that intersection is 122 traffic that travels east and west. Monroe traffic will not be able to cross 122, as is the case right now, and there will be no turns. So that will probably go into mid-May. So that will get through that, and then we can get that intersection open and really start focusing on the reconstruction of the eastbound lanes. One other thing with that project, in preparation for another stage of the project on Monday, we will be having some lane closures at the Pierce intersection. It'll remain open, still be able to get through there. But on Monday, there will be some lane closures there. As like I said, we get ready for the next phase of that project.
And what's the timeline on having everything switch into the northbound or the north side of the highway there, the westbound lanes? I try to think of this off the top of my head.
Don't worry, I do the exact same thing. We're still looking at mid-May for getting those things switched over as well. When we finish the Monroe intersection is more than likely when we will be able to make that traffic switch and really start focusing on the reconstruction of the eastbound lanes.
What other projects we have going on around the area?
Another one that a lot of people have been talking about is the one south of Rockwell, the Highway 65 bridge replacement. Currently, we are still able to be doing the work underneath the bridge, and that is going to continue for several more weeks. Once we get to a point where we need to remove the bridge to continue the project, that's when the detour will go into place, and we will keep people up to date on when that's going to happen. Again, I stress it all the time, 511ia.org and the 511ia app. We talk about it all the time, but I talk to people out in the public and they're like, oh, I didn't really know that was out there. Well, It is. It's a really, really
Yeah,
huge
and
asset.
it's just not a winter road condition things, because I think some people also think that it's, oh, I can go get my winter road conditions, and then when it comes to April 8th, like we're talking today, yeah, that website's not active, or we don't need to worry about, hopefully, snowy conditions.
Right. No, it's just as helpful during the construction season, especially, these projects have different changes with lane closures and with detours and things like that. And that site is kept up to date, so people will get a good idea of what to expect. And you can also go there to that site and you can enter your email and a password, and you can create your own zones as far as maybe where you drive to work or where you drive to school. And if something is happening or changing on those routes, you'll get either an email or text notification. So it's a really good system. It's a really, really good source of information. So, yeah, I really, really stress people to use that.
I know we've got. Are there any other projects that you want to hit on before we talk
Yeah,
about texting and driving?
you bet. A couple. US 18 in Garner. We got a good start on that late last fall. The contractor's going to be moving back in on Monday, and they'll be working at the intersection where 69 goes south with US 18. They'll be adding in a offset right-hand turn lane there, and we will be having temporary traffic lights. They will be going up, like I said, on Monday. We still got some work going on over in the from Sexton to Algona area. The rain kind of slowed things down a little bit, left that because of the rain and the dirt work, but they should be back up and going there pretty soon. And there's pilot car and flaggers going through that area. I went through there last week, so it does slow you down a little bit, but as long as you're aware of it, you're in good shape. What else do we have over in the Avenue of the Saints? From about Interstate 35 in the eastbound lanes heading east, we're going to be doing some work in the outside lanes, so that will be a lane closure there. That will possibly be starting late this week or else maybe early next week. And other than that, I think that kind of covers it for us right now.
Well, there's going to be a special traffic enforcement event coming up here, and I know we've talked about for years texting and driving and how that people shouldn't be doing that. And now it's a law, and that you had the July to January period to get used to that law, and now it's going to be, obviously it's been enforced since January, but there's going to be a crackdown on it with law enforcement here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, you see that a lot of times with different things like with speeding and seatbelt use and drinking and driving. And yeah, this week they are focusing on the hands-free law. So we always want to stress, keep the cell phone down, don't use it, especially this week, because they're going to be focusing on it, excuse me, and looking for it. And again, and it happens every day, but today I saw 2 or 3 people on my drive to work, very obviously. I mean, it wasn't even trying to be hidden that they were using their phone. So they're watching for you. And it's like $170 some fine, I believe. So it's definitely something that you would feel. And the more important part is to stay safe. So leave the phones alone. Maybe this is a good week to really focus on that, and hopefully that habit will carry over.
And if you don't have it figured out for your car, all the hands-free things that you can connect with your cars, of course, the newer the cars, the more extravagant those hands-free features are on each and everybody's cars. So
yeah, that's exactly right. And if you can't figure it out, get your junior high student or grandkid, or they'll breeze right through it for you.
Really techie to do that.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
Unless there's anything else you want to hit on, we'll let you go for this week.
Yeah, I think that kind of covers it, Bob. Again, just remember for those changes Monday at Monroe Avenue and at Pierce Avenue, and then starting up in Garner. I think those are the big ones to be aware of starting next week.
Pete, as always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you in the near future.
Sounds great. Thanks, Bob.
All righty. Pete Hjelmstad with the Iowa Department of Transportation here in Mason City on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO.